Today I'd like to compare two events in world history, the first being the publication of Charles Darwin's On the Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection, and the second being the completion of the Human Genome Project. These events took place about a century and a half apart, with the Human Genome Project being completed in 2003 and Charles Darwin's On the Origin of Species being published in 1859. These both represent revolutions in biological science as well as our understanding of what it is to be human. At the time that Charles Darwin wrote, biological science was simply recording what could be seen. The big revolution that was happening at this time was the theorization of how what could be seen came to be. And Darwin was at the center of this with his theory that all species that exist are descended from a common ancestor. He didn't directly write about humans as being part of that because it was a deeply political thing at the time, and it would have made his piece be lost in the controversy instead of becoming a part of the scientific literature of reason debate. It wasn't really a thing that you could go against the church and say that humans came from anything other than created separately from nature as opposed to being a part of nature. But what he learned, what he proposed, was directly applicable to human ancestry, and the implications there were talked about in the culture. And all of that came to be the foundation of modern evolutionary biology, which informs our understanding of how we are human in that idea of having descent from the same common ancestor as the rest of the living world. That actually has a piece to play in the Human Genome Project because evolutionary biology is a core concept in biology today, and our understanding that we all come from a common ancestor plays into our understanding that we all share common DNA, so we could sequence that DNA to understand more about the micro of the human being, of what information we are made up of. So the goal of the Human Genome Project was to sequence the entire set of the human DNA, and it was accomplished in 2003. I think that this revolutionized how we see ourselves as human by gathering all the information together of how our bodies are made up and how that is expressed, and how we are all similar enough in our DNA to sequence the individuals that they did sequence as a representative of all of humanity. I think that both of these events changed biology going towards the future. Darwin influenced the Genome Project, and the Genome Project is going to continue to influence biology and medicine going forward for a very long time, as we can make more genomically tailored medicine and cures for diseases, and find the common ancestry of how people have traveled through the world. And they've both affected how we view ourselves as humans.